Okay. Hi, Vegas Rock Goddess here on the Rocks, Total Entertainment, coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. We're going to let in upon the revelation right now. Hello. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad, how are you? Okay, we have no mic on. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear us now?
Hey, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Now I can see you guys. Hi. How are you?
Good.
How are you?
Good.
It's great to have the whole band.
Right?
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, welcome to On the Rocks.
Appreciate you having us on.
I'm really excited to have you guys on. I've been listening to your music. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys sound great.
Appreciate
We
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah, so let's start from the beginning because there's going to be a lot of people that watch a show that maybe don't know who you are. So let's go back to the beginning now. Did you guys form this band from 86 to 96 and then stopped? Like, kind of give us a synopsis.
Yeah, so this is we I guess hold the moniker or whatever, but we were a pandemic band, right? So we got started a couple years ago. We didn't really have much of a venue to go out and play or do anything, so we just kind of buckled down and wrote as much material as we could. Practiced, and then once everything got lifted, we released our EP and then got out and played a few gigs locally, got into the scene out here in Nashville. And this so far since last year, we played the Exit at the end of the year last year, and we've been back in the studio writing, putting out or getting new material ready to put out. One of those which we just released on the 9th?
Yes,
it was. Yeah, on the 9th. Sidewinder is our newest one.
Yeah, you guys, that's your latest single.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you.
How's it been going with the single since you guys released it?
It's a slow roll right now. Our last time we released a single, which was Medusa, it kind of took off. That's our biggest streamed song so far. But I mean, we've kind of seen that be the case. Like, it takes a little while to build some traction.
Right.
But locally, I mean, people are spinning it, so that's really cool.
Yeah, and I love Medusa, by the way. That was one of my favorite songs I have written down. It's a great song, very strong, powerful song. Now you guys are located in Nashville, right?
Well, we're right outside of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee.
I was oh my God, I've interviewed so many Nashville bands. Nashville is really a hotbed for rock and roll right now.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I was about 4 months ago, I was at the Rock and Pod Fest in Nashville. I don't know if you guys know about that, but a lot of Nashville artists come, and the YouTubers, podcasters all get to interview local bands as well as national acts. You guys should definitely check that out next year. It's really a great platform. For
there's something going on. Friends in Blackwood that had a
Blackwood. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My friends from Blackwood, I just interviewed them.
absolutely.
I met them in Nashville. They're a great bunch of guys. Love them. But let's talk about this band. Now, what is your current lineup? Let's start from the left to the right, and you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band.
I guess that's you, Chad.
Okay. I play guitar, do some of the writing. I do most of our producing and mixing also.
Okay.
I'm Josh. I play drums.
Is that it? It's pretty short.
Yeah.
Like drums.
I'm Cameron, singer, help with writing and all of the above. Yeah.
Jonathan, I share lead guitar duties with Chad and guitar duties. Help with the writing.
Dave, I play bass.
Okay. You still have an important part in the band, Dave.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the biggest
Very
part.
much so.
And you're a very important part. So's a drummer, but
That rhythm section is very important.
right. So you guys, you're a pandemic band because I'm glad you said that, because when I was doing Keep Rock Alive, I was doing this all through pandemic. I was interviewing bands, and as bands were coming on my show or our show, me and Mike Petrelli's show, they were breaking up. I mean, we would get calls like 2 hours before we air saying, we just lost our drummer to family from, because of COVID or whatever. And I mean, it was a really difficult time. But again, we have to look at the bright side of this now. We're in 23, and a lot of these bands, like yourselves, you did writing, and you were ready to go and perform. So how's it Nashville area for you as far as getting out into the clubs and stuff?
It's last year it came pretty quick. Like it was a little bit of a slow roll. And we're like, man, we get some gigs, and as soon as we played our first one, it was like bam, 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 bam. They just kept rolling, right? And we kept getting invited to hop on bills with other local folks, and I think our last gig was in October. Exit In was some killer bands, and since then we just kind of we started our writing process, and once we start doing that, we kind of just lock in. It's like hibernate time,
Right.
because we want to keep the juices flowing, and try to get as much material as we can get down as quick as possible and as
Yeah,
good as we can be,
of
so we have
course.
stuff we can weed out when we decide to do releases or stuff we know we need to change or
Right.
whatever it may be. But yeah, this year so far, we haven't really hopped on any shows. It's summer, it's show season, so we're hoping one or two pops up at least this year. Who knows? We'll see. But we don't get out and go crazy with booking and stuff. We kind of let them just naturally come to, and
Right.
yeah.
Well,
So,
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but 23 right now, like you said, this is the best time to get your band on the road. So are you guys being in the studio right now and recording new music? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so when we started the band, we had wrote a couple of tunes and things started picking up so quick. We had 6 songs when we started getting out there and playing shows, and they were coming so quick. We didn't have much material to back that up. So we made a decision after those string of shows that we would get back in, write, 10 or 12 songs along with the 6 that we had, and just have a really good foundation where we can ride this, next year or two out, play shows, play whatever we want, and all the material's done. We're a relatively new band, and I knew that was going to be a little bit of an issue when we started dropping music. A lot of bands, they go out and they play just 5 or 6 songs or one EP that they have. We gained a lot of traction on that first EP, but we just wanted to get back in here and get a real good foundation so we can ride that wave out the next time it happens.
Right. And it's going to happen. I mean, you guys are solid. And I think once you guys get out there and really start playing and hitting the road, I think it's really gonna solidify all the hard work that you guys are putting into your music.
Absolutely. And there's just a really good scene in Nashville. Everybody's supportive and uplifting. Got so many good bands coming out of Nashville. Like you mentioned Blackwood earlier. They're just killer. Sidewinder, Rattle Trap. There's a lot of good bands, and they're all supportive of us, and we look forward to each other's releases. It's a great time to be in the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I interviewed Ashton Blake from Native Sons. I also interviewed Lost Circus, another great band. Also Mr. Gray, which is another great band from Nashville. Like I said, I've had such an amazing time in Nashville, and I really can't wait to come back in 24. They're gonna do Rock and Pod again. 24. They haven't announced where they're gonna do it yet, but man, I would love to see you guys come out for that, because that would really be, I think, really great for you.
I think we might give it a shot this year or next year coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we were gonna do it this year, but there was something happened. Was that the weekend that we was both moving? Or
I think-
something
Yes,
that?
it
I think it
was,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and but anyway, I mean, you guys are looking forward to playing out, right? Like, what are some of the cool
Yeah.
places in Nashville that you guys want to play?
I mean, we've knocked quite a few off the list. I think the big one for us was Exit In. But there's some new spots that have come about since then. I think like Eastside Bowl.
Yeah,
Um,
great
you're
place
the
to-
Vinyl Lounge.
Vinyl Lounge. There's a bunch.
Yeah, East Side Bowl is great. I saw Rare Hair there that weekend that I was out, and amazing. That's a great place. Let me tell you something. I wish they could transplant that bowling alley concert venue here in Vegas because I think it would do amazing. We have something similar like Brooklyn Bowl, but that has a hometown feel, which I absolutely love there.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool spot.
So, as far as like the songwriting process, is there one individual that writes the songs, or do you all kind of contribute to that?
It's an amalgamation of everybody. A lot of it, like I guess you'd say like the sprout, the ideas. Most of those come from me and Johnny and Chad. But then we get together and start working on all of it together, musically, lyrically, tossing ideas back and forth, working on melodies, looking for opportunities and harmonies and all kinds of stuff. So especially when it comes to production, we're like throw some synth in here, do this, do that, and that's the real fun part of it. So
Yeah, it either happens. Sorry.
No, no,
Go
no, no. What I was gonna say is, what are you guys in? I mean, because I hear a lot of different influences in your music. Why don't you kind of tell me or the viewers what you guys kind of feel your music is inspired by?
Oh man, we're
all over the place.
yeah,
I know.
we have so many influences. Like Cam's real big into Prince, for example. I'm a huge grunge kid. I love 90s grunge and hard rock, even post grunge, alternative rock, all the way to some proggy stuff, Tool, Mars Volta, Queens of the Stone Age. I really love stoner rock and desert rock. Really huge into that. Cam?
I listen to a lot of hip hop, so like some of these, I'm the hook guy, right? So when it comes to songs, most of the time I pop out with a chorus or hook first. That's the thing. But I mean, old 90s stuff, 80s hair metal stuff. Not really that big into like instrumental music, I guess. Because I'm a singer, like it's kind of I don't play anything, so I kind of just get lost in it. But definitely like radio rock, I think is kind of my biggest inspiration, like late 90s, early 2000s, when everything was just really, like changing and taking off. Disturbed and all the big boys. And Creed, I guess is probably
Well, yeah.
I love Creed, man. Scott Stapp's one of my favorite vocalists, but
He's an amazing vocalist. And I mean, as far as like in 23, I don't think we're categorizing any kind of music at all.
It's everywhere, right?
I think it just comes down to rock and roll and what the vibe is. And the vibe, I mean, the 80s and 90s are kind of making a comeback.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I don't think it ever left. I think it took a sleepover during pandemic. So once everything started lifting out, I mean, everybody is ready to rock again.
Right.
Well, I like the bands too. There's several new bands coming out, like Sleep Token and Zeal and Ardor, where like they can just seamlessly transition into another genre. And that kind of showed us, that it can be, we don't have to hold that side of ourselves back, our other influences. I know that I kind of get tunnel vision when I'm writing because I want it to sound like a certain thing. But honestly, I just threw the rule book out the window and I'm just writing whatever my heart wants to write, and it's so cool because Zeal and Ardor, they do like some gospel and death metal and like mix it together. And I love that. Anything that's like off the cuff or anything that's surprising like that just really makes my brain excite, you know?
How
Okay,
about you guys?
I want somebody, I don't care who does this, to explain the term doom metal to me.
Doom metal. Chad?
You know who I think of? Y'all probably don't know who he is, but the what's he go by? Bun, the older guy, the 50-year-old guy that does doom metal.
Buzz from the Melvins.
No.
No.
I think his name is shit. It don't matter what his name is. He's an older guy that's on YouTube. He's 50-something years old. If you look up, he did like a year. Like he decided, like during COVID, to completely abandon, his jobs and stuff like that because of the opportunity COVID granted him. I hate to say opportunity from it, but
Right?
it is what it is. He found himself out of work and he always wanted to be a doom metal musician. So like he was like, I'm gonna make this work. And he did this whole video series on how much money he made, broke it down and all this stuff. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's who I think of.
What's the band though? First band you can think of.
Son, oh.
Son
Son
of.
of, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
probably.
not a doom metal guy, so I don't know.
There's even Neurosis, and Mastodon has some doomy.
Yeah, I guess
They
they
have
kind
nice
of.
Right?
Some circles, and doom metal to me is just, you always know because the signature guitar sound. It's that
Right.
big wall of sound fuzz. It's droning. It's almost dissonant at times. Yeah,
Opeth, I guess you could consider them. They got some doomy influences.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some. I'm
What's up
not-
with that name on Amar?
I'm not real huge into the doom scene. See, a lot of my doomish bands are stoner rock bands.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
think.
Well,
Stoner rock.
again,
Sasquatch, Caius.
Yeah.
right. Again, it's just one of those weird terms that I've been hearing now, a little bit here and there, but it's
Absolutely.
like metalcore. That's actually a term that's used for a lot of Mexican heavy metal bands, metalcore.
Yeah,
And again, it's not categorizing anything. It's just kind of a nickname.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like metalcore, like back in
Right.
when it first came out, was like Trivium. Like that's
Kill
metalcore.
Right.
Kill
Like a
Switch.
Kill
And
Switch.
it was the mix between heavy vocals and clean vocals and really melodic riffs. Like that's metalcore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of these terms in 23 are kind of making a comeback in certain areas.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's really interesting because it's kind of bleeding into the rock and roll scene a little bit, which is cool. I
I
mean,
think people
it
during the pandemic had time to just like chill and reflect and listen to music because everybody was like kind of down a little bit, and it's just kind of that introvert vibe, let's listen to music, let's try to keep things live. They
Right.
probably dug into new stuff and old stuff and found inspiration in it again and came out, and now everybody's digging all these different bands that people were putting to the side beforehand because they just weren't open to it.
exactly. Now everybody's open to everything.
Yeah.
I think for the first time in like 30 years, rock bands are starting to do everything, not just one general type of rock.
Well, that's really cool because you can get a lot of mixed bills, and you get like
Yes.
different crowds that come out when those bands get put together, and it's not just the same old crap.
Right.
Like,
And I think that's what's making 23 really interesting
definitely.
in the music scene. Let's talk about gear.
Oh shit.
Okay,
I'm gonna stay out of this one.
okay, guitar players, tell us your gear.
Okay.
Well, God, I have a ton of gear, but I guess my main stuff I play on stage and the stuff I use mainly is Jackson Dinkies. I have two of those. I run into a EVH 5150, into a 5150 cab. We do everything front of house, out through torpedo, so we use ours and stuff like that goes to front of house. We use everything wireless in-ear rig, so everything we have feeds into that and feeds back into our ears. And a Helix. I use a Helix for switching, so MIDI switching. I keep it pretty simple.
Nice. Okay, guitarist, let's hear it.
I'm a Gibson guy through and through. I love Gibson guitars. I've got a Gibson Les Paul Custom from 1990. I got a 1978 Gibson Les Paul Standard. Custom is wine red. The Standard's black. Right now I'm using a Spline Quick Rod, which is a modded Marshall head, 100 watts, EL34. Just love it. That modded Marshall tone is my sound. A lot of the 80s metal, you know, and anything, even, you know, Marshall sounds from the 60s and 70s, all the Clapton and the blues breakers and stuff like that. I run that Spawn through a Mesa 212 with Marshall vintage G12 speakers in it, the ones that come in the Jubilee cab. I use Fractal for my effects, and I have just picked up a Joe Bonamassa wah that I love, and it's ever evolving though. I love gear. I've got a problem. I acknowledge that.
We all do, I think.
Everybody except for me.
Kevin's like,
There's only so many microphones you can get.
What
Right?
about bass?
Yeah, what you got, Dave?
Bass gear.
I like Fenders. I've been playing a jazz bass, and I have a pretty simple pedal setup, and it goes into a dark glass amp. Nothing much to it. Just
Meat and
enough-
potatoes.
Meat and potatoes, exactly. Enough
Yeah.
to make noise.
Straight
You know,
up, man. Straight up sound. That's great.
Um,
That's great. That's so rock and roll, man.
Yes.
That's great. But okay, so if you could tell me, you can just start from wherever. What was the first concert one of you guys went to? First show?
Oh shit.
First
Ricky
good one?
Skaggs. Yeah, I was
Skaggs.
like 3 or 4. They used to. We're up there, I'm from Macon County, Tennessee originally, and if you don't know where that's from, that's the middle of fucking nowhere. And they used to have this Deerwood amphitheater up there. Believe it or not, like some big time artists would come play, and I can vaguely remember being a little like toddler and Ricky Skaggs playing on the stage.
Nice.
Down, man, little Ricky.
What you got,
Who else?
Josh?
Who else?
Ozfest.
Which one?
Like
Oh, yeah.
04?
04,
I was at
05.
that one. Sick.
I was
Absolutely.
First concert.
First concert that I actually remember, because I think I got dragged to quite a few when I was younger, but the one that I really remember, and it's gonna be weird, but it was Lilith Fair in like 2001,
Yeah.
2000, something like that. And it was like Melissa Etheridge and Alanis Morissette, and I don't know, it was cool. I got in a fight with a dude. I was like a little kid, and I got in a fight with a grown ass adult because he said I was being too loud. Like,
Hey, you
a
gotta
literal
have some
fist
rock and
fight.
roll stories, man.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. My first concert was Pearl Jam on the binaural tour.
Fuck, that's a good one.
1999, I believe, 2000, somewhere around there. I was 11 years old. I eventually caught him again on the next tour in 2001. My brother was a super big grunge kid. Obviously, that influenced me heavily. He used to lock me in the in his room, and I was listening to like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys at the time. He would lock me in his room and put grunge music on. I would try to get out, and I ended up loving it, man. It was kind of forced on me, but I loved it. I ended up loving it.
Dramatic, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, Pearl Jam.
Said, no, you ain't play no boy band.
Ain't no rock boy bands.
Get you in this room, but you goes, bro.
Dave,
First good concert or first concert?
This first concert, it doesn't matter.
Oh, hard.
Heart,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a
That's
fucking good
awesome.
It wasn't good when we saw them. There've been better times.
Okay, so I'll share my first concert with you. Cheap Trick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
banger. There you go.
because I'm from Chicago, their hometown. So
Yeah.
when Cheap Trick plays Chicago, they play for a whole week of shows.
Really?
And it was like New Year's Eve. I can't even remember what year it was, but it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And I counted exactly how many guitars Rick Nielsen came out with. And it was like 45 at that time. He
Even with
cut
his whole
came out
collection.
with. I mean,
Man.
it's like they put on an amazing show, and they're still rocking today, which is great. Great to
They're a killer band.
They are killer.
I love them. But okay, so I usually leave with a final question. Okay, so my question to you guys is, if you had to share a dressing room, there was only one dressing room, and you had to share it with another band, what would the band be?
Oh,
Is it famous or local or?
Doesn't matter. Like if you had to share a dressing room with someone at a show, what band would you like to share a dressing room with?
Good question.
I'm gonna just
Chad?
answer for everybody because I think it'd probably be Tool.
Tool, yeah.
Yeah.
Tool. They're awesome. I love Tool.
Absolutely. There's several answers to that question.
Yeah, that's a hard one, but I know like
Like-
you guys and all dig Tool.
Pantera from like the late 90s or
Right.
94 to 99. That would probably be
Yeah, that would have been.
that would have been sick. Hanging out with Dimebag doing Blacktooth grins and
Oh
would-
my
yeah.
God.
pranks and shit.
That
Yeah.
would be great, man. I got to meet Vinnie Paul here in Vegas when he lived here.
Really?
He was an amazing guy, very funny. So much like his brother,
Oh, I bet.
you know.
Road.
We miss Dom heavily.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
was
I think
Vinny
everybody
too.
does. Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Well, it was great talking to you guys. I want to kind of reconnect with you when you guys are getting ready to release some music.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
To reconnect, so definitely keep in touch. You know, if there's any shows coming up, I'd love to help you guys promote those. Let me know.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. We
it.
appreciate you
Sounds
having us
good.
on.
Yeah, and I look forward to some new music from you guys.
Definitely. We'll have some
We'll keep you in
coming
the
out.
loop.
Not super soon, but not far after that.
Right, just keep me in the loop, okay? You guys keep
Definitely will.
rocking, man. Keep promoting, man. Keep promoting your band.
Definitely. Will.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you, Carol.
And is there any like before I let you go, is there any place where people can find your music?
Oh yeah, we're on
Other
all
than-
major platforms. Just look up Upon the Revelation on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple Music, all those. All of our socials are UTR Band Official. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But yeah,
Very
We're out
cool. And maybe we'll see some TikTok out of you guys once you guys hit the road.
We need to.
I've tried it.
Come with the times. Yeah.
Oh, you'll be on there soon enough.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys take care, keep rocking, and we'll talk soon.
Definitely
Thank
will.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Upon the Revelation, what a great band. Again, a band from Nashville, Tennessee. I can't say it enough. Nashville is one of the hottest hotbeds for rock and roll bands right now in 2023. Amazing. So we'll be checking in with them later this year, early next year, when they start recording their new music and getting out on the road. This is the Vegas Rock Goddess on the rocks, total entertainment, and I will see you next time.